What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be diving into my overview of the Bridgeport 395. Let's get into it. So this is coming via the Lefty Pass Around group, and it is coming directly from Bluminati Ninja. I did intend to bring his stickers up here to show his logo on camera, but I think telling you who it's coming from is probably good enough. So very nice little case that this comes in. It's like a little Pelican miniature case with some foam padding. You can see here the Bridgeport 395 version 2, and as you can see, the steel and the handle finish. Here's a QR code in case you want to scan that too. Let's go ahead and set the case aside for right now, and let's have a look at this really quick. So what we're dealing with here is a 3-inch 20 CV hologram blade. This one here coming in black wash, but they also have a stone wash finish. You have a contoured, slightly contoured micarta scale on here. Let me close it up and give you a better look at that. So slight contouring, not very heavy contouring at all. You have thumb hole or thumb studs for deployment. You have a titanium pocket clip that is reversible, and you have steel liners on the inside, liner lock coming in at about 20%. So really nice little build. The most fascinating thing about this particular model is it's made by Kubi, so fit and finish on it are very good, and it's only coming in at $145. At the time of this video, it is out of stock, so if you are interested in this one, I would definitely sign up for notifications for this particular knife. At this price point, it is a very compelling knife. Let me go ahead and do some quick size comparisons. I went ahead and grabbed a few thumb hole opening and thumb stud opening knives for the comparison. So first, we're going to do a sub 3-inch pony stout, because again, this is a 3-inch 20 CV blade. I thought this would be a very good comparison. And then a quick thumb stud comparison here. It is against the Benchmade bug out, which is going to be just slightly larger overall. A couple more quick comparisons. We're going to do a thumb hole opening again. This one is going to be the Para 3. This is going to be a knife that it's pretty similar in size with, just a little bit shorter overall. Let me move this out. We're going to do another budget comparison. This one's going to be against this CJ-RB Echo. I thought this would be another good comparison because you have that micarta and that AR RPM 9, very similar looking type of knife, but again, different steels going on here. And the last one that I'm going to bring out is going to be the Quiet Carry 9. So as you can see, it's relatively small, even though it is coming in a little bit bigger than the Pony Stout. Let's get into the knife now. First, I want to talk about the ergos on this. Again, it is a relatively small knife, and that slight contouring does help fill out the hand a little bit better. A little small for me. I do tend to slip off the back with the larger hands using that hole, but it does have enough of a cutout for that choil to where I can choke up and use it fairly comfortably. Access to the lock bar is really good. You can get in there nicely. It is a little slick. It could benefit from just a little bit of jimping on there so you're not sliding off of it. At least for me with larger hands, I am slipping off just a little bit. The other thing that I do like on here is they used a filler tab for the show side, so you're not really having to worry about any types of divots or anything like that like you can sometimes with knives when they don't use the filler tabs. So sometimes I can feel the sharpness a little bit on the Echo in hand when I'm using it. Nothing awful, but you can kind of just feel it there, and that filler tab helps to eliminate that. The other thing that I really like on here is that they did not go all the way to the top, and with that titanium clip, it is a little low profile. It does kind of get stuck towards the top going in and out of the pocket, but I do like that they lowered it just a little bit so this filler tab can flip over very easily, and it's not going to have any odd shapes to it. It's perfectly square, so it's going to sit nice on either side. But that pocket clip does need to be a little bit taller so that it can go into the thicker pockets a little bit nicer. Mine kind of gets stuck and doesn't want to go all the way up, so I end up really with about that much knife sticking out, which isn't awful. It's about the same probably, or even better than what you would see on a Spyderco with their factory clip on it. Back spacer looks like it's G10. I couldn't find anything to confirm that at all. Stop pin is way back here, so you do not have to worry about the sharpening choil or where it may land. And the other thing that I do like is it appears, and it's a little hard to get it with the lighting, that the plunge grind falls way back here. So you got a lot of sharpening life with this one, which is going to be really, really good. The action on here is very smooth. It feels like the pivot might be a little tight. It feels like it wants to fall shut, and it definitely feels like it's pretty well broken in. So this is going to definitely be more of a shake shut. Detent on here is okay. As you see there, sometimes I can fail it because it's not quite strong enough. I don't know though, this is a pass around, so I don't know. Again, the detent ball might just need to be, or detent hole might need to be cleaned out just a little bit. Could be that it needs to be tuned up. The only thing about being in the pass around is you really don't know how many hands it's been in, what the reviewer has been doing to kind of test it and whatnot. The edge does seem fine on here. It doesn't have any blemishes. Went through the paper just fine. I did test it on a piece of cardboard, cut through that very well. I don't know the HRC for the 20CV on here. If it's like other cubies, probably in that 60 to 61 range, which is okay. It should perform fairly well for the money on here. You're going to get, you know, better performance than you would from 14C28N, Nitro V, 154CM, those type steels. So this is going to perform a little better. That hollow ground on here does help make it very slicey. Again, it went through the materials really well. I like the drop point on here, really good for utility cuts, draw cuts. Works really well for all of that. Having said all of that, for $145, you're getting a really well built knife at a really good price. It's going to be really hard to argue with the fit, the finishes, and the material. It is going to be steel hardware all the way around. Of course, that's how they're able to keep the cost down a little bit. And there is some milling that's going to be a little hard to get to show up on camera with the natural lighting. So let me grab my flashlight here and see if I can get that to show up for you. Hopefully you're able to see there is just a little bit of milling with the steel liner on the show side, and then on the pocket, on the lock bar side, there's no milling there. That's a solid piece, and I understand why they had to do that because it is a really low profile knife, so they're not able to get any milling in there whatsoever. Really like this design a lot, really well done, and just a very enjoyable little EDC. I'd almost say that you could fifth pocket carry or put this in a pouch. It is definitely small enough to do that. For me, it's a little too small. I would like to be able in the natural position to get all of my fingers on there. When my pinky is not on there, you can see just how much space there is left for me on the back, and it's not quite enough. But not everybody wants a knife that's very big. Some people want something very small that's going to be very lightweight in the pocket. And actually, the other thing that I forgot I couldn't find about this one was the weight. So let's check how much this is. I'm assuming this is going to be under 3 ounces. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't zeroed before. Yeah, coming in at 2.7, like I said, pretty lightweight. Just by comparison, here is my bug out with the Lotus scales from Flytanium. So the titanium scales on here versus the steel liners and the micarta. The Pony Stout I think is right at 3 if I remember right. Yeah, so the Pony Stout, even though smaller, a little bit heavier. And then just an Echo, we'll do one more. So 3.4 again. I think it was 2.8. Not bad at all for the size of the knife and everything that you're getting. Really, really lightweight. I like that. That's really well done. So final thoughts on this. I think $145, you're getting 20 CV, micarta on steel liners, titanium pocket clip with steel hardware, ceramic bearings in the pivot, good access to the lock bar. The lock bar could have a little bit of jimping on there. I think that would make this that much better because I do feel like I'm kind of, you see how I'm not able to get it to drop when I first disengage. I have to kind of push it really hard and tight in there, and that's just because the fit's tight. But I wouldn't want them to increase the cutout anymore. I would just want a few little jumps on there. Civivi is really good at that. They do a really good job putting the jumps in there. That would probably be the one thing that I would say to add on there. One thing I did forget to mention too, there's no branding on this at all. It is a completely clean design, no branding, no blade steel anywhere that you can see, nothing on the pivot, nothing on the pocket clip. I did check the backspacer. There's nothing lasered on there or anything like that. So really, really clean, simple design. I don't know if any of that helps with, you know, saving the money, because you don't have to embroider or brand anything, but it makes for a really good looking knife. I know there was a couple of variants. He did micarta mainly, but I think there was a couple of variants he did with the carbon fiber. I don't remember if it was shred or marbled or copper carbon fiber, but I know that there was a little special one he did in smaller batches. But again, at the time of this video, it is sold out, so you are going to need to sign up for this one if you're interested in this. But I think it's really interesting to get these materials that close to $100. Well, I guess it's closer to 150, but 20 CV, hollow grind, thumb hole, thumb studs. So you get two options as far as how you deploy it: micarta, steel liners, and a titanium clip, and a compact size for EDC. That's a really good deal. I threw some other ones out here that are kind of close in that price point. Used to be you could get a bug out for 140, but I think they're like 160 now. And then you can absolutely still get this S90V variant, which is a sprint run. At the time of this video, they're still in stock. That's 140. You do get aftermarket support there. As you can see, I have the Applied Weapon Tech scales on here. But there's a ton of options for aftermarket with these two. And this one here with the 20 CV, I paid 140 for this about a year ago. I think maybe longer. Really good deal on this one during the holidays, but again, inflation, the price on these are up. So very comparable as far as the price on that and what you're getting, but that's a flat grind versus this is a hollow grind. That one you're getting FRN scales, which are basically plastic. These you're getting steel liners, micarta. So, you know, I do want to be transparent about that. Same thing here. It's just the FRN from Spyderco is a little bit more robust. It doesn't feel as chintzy in the hand. So great knife, but for me, a little too small. So if they made a large, I probably would check it out. I like the fidget factor to it, and the build quality feels really good. But for me, I just mentioned where I would have probably spent this money for myself. If you are interested in this and it does appeal to you, I will leave that linked down in the description below so you can check out their website and sign up for notifications so you can get those when they come out. Hope this video was helpful for you. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, comments, and is subscribed. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.